Hey guys, hope you're all doing fantastic today and hope you're all having a good start to your week. This week while I was out and about for work, I happened to swing by the game shop that's right down the road from where I work, and I was talking to the guy and I was looking around at his Lego collection. He has a glass cabinet, and inside that glass cabinet he had a couple of modular buildings. And I asked him how much he'd want for them, and they were both really cool, but I didn't think I could afford both of them because both of them together could be close to about $500. They were the Pet Shop as well as Assembly Square. The Pet Shop was older, it came out in 2011 I believe, and the Assembly Square I believe is still for sale, and it came out in 2017, so it could be retiring very soon. And once it does, it's a really cool build and it's very popular, so I could see that kind of going up in price, unfortunately. I asked him how much he'd want for them. He said $175 a piece, for me at least. He said all the pieces should be there from when he just viewed it over quickly. But there may be some small ones that aren't with it, which is understandable. Smaller pieces get lost all the time. It's something I could buy online for a very cheap price, probably. Got back that night and I'm like, what would you do for both of them? Would you do, like, I don't know, 300 for both of them? And he's like, best I could do is probably 325. And I wasn't expecting him to actually do that deal. I was kind of hoping he would say no so that it would forced me to only get one of them. Well, once he said that, I kind of knew I had to get both of them at that point. It was a really good price, so I jumped on it for $325. Now let's take a look at what we got. First up, we have the Pet Shop, which is a really cool build. I love this one. It's a 2 modular piece, and they're connected in the center, so you could take these apart and put them on other sides of modular buildings that you have, which I think I may keep these together, but we'll see about that. As far as the buildings go, everything seems to be there, which is really nice. I took a look at it last night, as well as the Assembly Square build, and the buildings seem in really good quality. There's only 2 little accessory pieces for the buildings that aren't there. One is the top of the trash can. Actually, I believe it's this one right here. This little trash can does not have a top to it, which is fine. That's an easy 5-cent pickup. As well as for the Pet Shop area, there should be a yellow brush, and that wasn't included in it. So those are what, 10-cent buys together, 5 cents a piece. So that's not a huge loss at all. So that I can take. Moving on to the figures. These 2 figures are 100% perfect. We got the little girl, we got the older gentleman, we got the little girl on the bike. Everything looks like it's in perfect condition. And then you have what's supposed to be the painter. The issue with the painter is his torso. Pants, I think, were correct, but the torso should be a white shirt with blue overalls, not a police officer torso. So that is, I want to say that was like a 13-cent buy, but I found out I could just get a whole new painter complete for about $1.38 online. So I think I might just get like a few painters just to actually have like a painting company type thing, and then have this as like just a little backup. So that's not a big fix at all to do, so I'm really happy with that. The only big issue with this whole build is one of the figures is missing, and it's not that expensive. I can pick it up for a little over $3 for a used one, and I'll show a picture of it right now. It is a I think it's a lady with a corset, red, I think she's got like brownish hair, a red torso, and maybe dark red pants too. But that's the only one that's like a major thing from this whole build. So I could track her down as well as the painters and just buy a few of them all at one time. And like I said, they're connected at the bottom and the middle. Actually, it's on either side. There are holes, which makes modular buildings very versatile. So all we have to do is I could switch these around either side, or I can connect them on either side of say the Assembly Square build, which is really cool. Taking a look at the Pet Shop, first on the top floor, we have basically just a little balcony with a bed up on the top floor, which is a really cool design. I really like it. It's like a loft area. This whole area from here down to here is actually an apartment type thing. So that's really cool. And then you have the Pet Shop underneath it. So we'll take this top off, going into the next layer, and that's where you have got the kitchen, little fireplace, got the stairs coming up right here, as well as a nice little area for coffee in the morning. So a nice simple apartment, and then you have the loft up on top that you just saw that has the bed in it. And then getting into the pet shop itself, there is quite a lot. I don't want to tip it and spill out anything. You have a little cat back here in a little pen, and obviously it's staring at the wall. There's a little hole back there, which is where the mouse is. Have some little play toys up here. Have a couple parrots, the cash register. Love the fish tank right behind the dog. I just think it's a really cool build. The top floor to the apartment section of this build is just an empty building. You got a couple boxes right there. Nice little balcony, little stained glass window treatment over there maybe. Very nice. Just a very neat little loft of the building up here. Let's take a look at the next floor. This is actually where you would find the painter. So you have the paint pan right there, you have the can of paint, and then you have the painter that you would put in here as if he's painting on the wall. Now, in the book, it looked like this was maybe a 2x4 that was up on the wall, and here it's just a 1x2, which is not a big deal. I have plenty of 2x4 and 2x2 ones that we could do. But what I would like to do is maybe get a few more of the painters and put them in this room and the room up on top, and have them look like they're working on this apartment complex, which I think would be really cool. And then last but not least, the main structure, where I'm guessing it's a father and daughter, the two other figures that came with this. The girl in all red works in the pet shop. From what I saw from the booklet, she worked in the pet shop. Then you had the painter who was in this section, and then you have the father-daughter who live out of here. And this is actually pretty cool. I like the way they did the sofa. I love how they did the bathroom. It's kind of hard to see, but there's actually a toilet in there as well, which is really neat. They have a little police officer hat hanging up there with some flowers, really neat. I just think it's a really cool build. Now looking at this, I would assume on how everything is connected that maybe it's a newer couple that was moving in, like a father-daughter that was moving from out of town, and all 3 floors are actually part of this. So if that's the case, maybe finding some other stuff and finishing these 2 rooms, that's an option we have as well. Another thing this apartment has as well is right here, it's kind of hard to see, but there's actually a latch that can go up, that you can go into the basement. But yeah, I absolutely love this build, and I love that it's attached to the pet shop. They're just both really 2 good Lego builds. And next up we have Assembly Square, which, this is awesome. I was going through this, I was cleaning up both of these last night, and looking through the detail and everything of this build is awesome. And I want to break everything down for you. The only issue that I came into out of the whole thing was this top of the light post on this one. That's it. That's the only thing that was missing off of here, which this is what, a 5 to 8 cent buy. I may actually have one of these in my inventory, so I could just find one and get one over there. There's only 1, 2, 3, and I think there was a spare one too. There was a 4th one somewhere. But yeah, that's a simple build issue, so no problem whatsoever with that one. Just from the exterior view, this is awesome. It looks like we have a coffee shop over here. We have a mom or somebody walking a stroller with a baby. We have, looks like, a pretzel shop or a bakery over here, and then you have the flower shop right there. And then let's crack into the buildings and see what we have. I say we start with the right side and see what we have, which is really cool because I believe this whole top is actually part of a an apartment complex, maybe for because in the booklet they have her labeled, the girl with the baby, as the Lego fan, and I'm wondering if this whole thing is her apartment complex, and I'll show you why. Outside you have a nice little dining area, which I think is really cool to have this open like that, just really neat. Then we crack open the top, and it looks like a Lego fan lives here. You have what looks like the Eiffel Tower, a miniature model. You have a nice little train station right there, which looks really cool. You got some cars up on top here. You also have a set down there. It looks like it's a little hard to get out, but it looks like it may be a theater of some kind, which is really cool. Then you have some collectibles over here above the couch. You have a nice little kitchen area, and then you have a bathroom. Once we get past that first floor, it starts opening up into a whole bunch of different things. So first off, you have, it looks like the photographer in a little photo shoot room, which is absolutely awesome. I love the setup for this. I think it's really cool. I love the camera that they use for it as well. That's a really cool build. And then over here you have a dentist. Got some of the, you got the sink over here, you got some of the stuff up in the cabinet as well. And the chair is just a really cool build. I love all the pieces. This probably would have taken a little bit of time just to get all this ready, or all this looking the way it does, but it's just a really nice looking build. It's got a lot of pieces to it. It's not exactly simple, but it looks very cool. And then going down to the base level, you have what looks like the floral shop underneath it, which is a really neat looking build. Got a cash register, a bunch of different flowers. It's a really neat looking space down there. And then branching right off of that, you have the bakery, which is a really cool build. I am pumped about this one. Got a whole bunch of the cakes up on top here. You have an oven right here that has some pastries in it. You also have the glass cabinets down there with all of the little pastries and cupcakes and things, which is just really neat. Get a little better view this angle. You have the cake in the front window. You also have some pastries and some cupcakes too. And cracking open this side, you have a really nice ballerina area, piano, a mirror for her to practice in. Just really simple. And this window also opens up so you can have a little bit of the balcony up there as well. And then right below that you have what looks like to be a bit of a musical area, musical store, looks like, for instruments. You have the drums, you have the saxophone, you had looks like was it a bass guitar and a regular guitar? Oh no, acoustic and electric. And then you have the cashier right there. Really cool. I would really like to go in a lot of these and just tile off the flooring. That's just what I would do. And cracking open the last floor here, we have the cafe, or the coffee shop, which I think is a really, really cool design, just like the cafe or the bakery over there. I just think it's really neat. I love how they have it set up. They have a little table, chair area for you guys to sit. Got some stools. Got the coffee maker. Just a really neat looking build. And I love how they have all the wood tiling, as well as the like the mosaic type of tiling too. This is cool, which makes me wonder why they didn't do that in all the floors, because it's only in this one, I believe, as well as the floral shop and the bakery. So I wonder why they didn't do that in all the floors. And I can't forget to show you the back of the buildings as well. The staircase, really cool. I like how they did it, as well as just having a nice little area back here. This knob right here is actually to push out the baking goods that are in the oven in the bakery, but getting it in there, my fingers are not the thinnest, so it took a little bit of maneuvering and taking some things out to put it back in there. So I'm not going to be using that too often. Got a little trash can back here. Then you got the eating area that we saw before. And I love how, like, almost a shopping area. I love this great idea with putting a couple barred fences up on top with the vines going on. I think it's a really cool touch. I love the tiled area. I would probably tile this off just the same as this. Maybe take out this gray tile and then have the red going all the way around. Just so, you know, I mean, it's the same thing going all the way around. Maybe not over here, but on this side I definitely would do that. And then I mentioned before about maybe having the pet shop and the apartment complex added on to these. So let's take those, split them apart, and see what they look like on either side of these. And there you go. That looks awesome. I love the look of that. I may even take out this one and maybe move this one down here. The thing with this though is I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna work this into the sidewalks and the roads, because the roads that we have, they don't take up a full thing. They full 32 by 32. They basically take out the middle of that, and they leave a fair amount on each side of the road for the sidewalk. So I don't need to make a huge sidewalk to go with this. So I may just end up, like, say, moving the roads over a little more. I'd rather have them just really simple and going right down the 32 by 32 base plate. But then maybe taking out this and turning this into that sidewalk, like just base. But then you're not really putting these on like this. The assembly square is a 32 and by 32 base plate, and then a 32 by 16 base plate. So it's a base plate and a half. Each one of the pet and the apartment, those are on 16 by 32. So I'm gonna have to figure out if I would be building that onto the 32 by 32. I don't know. There's so much going into this. I may just have to build some extra large sidewalks for some area, or move the roads over. I think that would be an option too. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I can't believe I got that lucky to find basically this whole build for $325. This is a really good deal. Right now, they're both going for about $475 to $500, depending on the quality. So I'll definitely take $325 if all I have to do is buy $3 worth of parts to finish it up. So otherwise, everything is finished. Everything looks fantastic. I cleaned it all up. We're all good to go. Now it's just finding a place to store it. And there is one other building I wanted to take a look at with. Now this next one, I believe, is called the family house. The box was really beat up, so I just basically bought it, threw out the box, kept the bags and the stickers and the manual, and just brought it home that way. So I believe this one is called the family house. It's a more modern take on the house. And the reason I got this is I love the design of it. It's not a modular building by any means. It's not finished, obviously. There's a whole backside missing on it. But I have an idea, and I want you guys to hear me out on this. If you look at the base plate, this is an 8 by 16, and this is a 16 by 16. So take this off completely, bring the house forward, extend it over the garage area, the carport area, so you have an actual, if you're going to keep it this size, it's a little electric car, if you're going to keep the car that size, why not have the garage come all the way over it and build a two-story house, right? And if you do a full 16 by 32, you could have this little section at the back of it, back here. It's probably going to be somewhere around here. And then you're basically not just doubling this, you're almost tripling it in space. I just think that would be a really good idea. I mean, it's not going to take me that long to completely fill out this thing. I love the wood paneling effect they have running down the sides of it right here. I think it's a really cool design choice. I love the glass paneling they have as well. The solar panels up on top look cool. I love the leaves on the sides. I think it's a really cool design. But yeah, put this on a 32 by 16 plate or 16 by 32 plate. Have it go all the way up to the front. And then, I mean, heck, you could even keep this how it is right here, have this a deck with this little grill, and just make this whole thing a deck over the carport. And then you have all this space back here to use up, where you could basically just take one of these and double it and make a bigger size modern house. And then if that's the case, why not go a full 3 stories? I mean, having this count as the basement, and then 1, 2, and then a third one up on top. And I think that'd just be really cool. And being that it's basically all white pieces, that's a really easy build to do. Very common piece to find. So that's what I'm thinking about doing with this one. But I think it'd be a really cool concept for a more modern house. Because obviously, in this city, when we build it, we are going to have like a farmhouse. We are going to have some traditional looking buildings and houses. But you are going to have those buildings that, I mean, the city is going to be progressive, so you want to have some of the more electric builds, some of the more modern-looking houses to kind of attract the younger generation, the families, the newer families, stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a really cool build once we actually do it. I actually love the overall design aspect of the house. I think it's really cool with the little kids' room being... Well, that's another thing that got me. It's like, okay, there's 2 parents and 2 kids. I see 1 bed. So I don't get it. But you have, I love this picture back here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a dragon and a dice. So it's very D&D-esque. So I really like that. You got the Ninjago stuff that he's got, which actually goes down to another area of the house, which I'll show you in a bit. Then you have the shower, which looks really cool. You have, it looks like a washroom, but then like in the washroom you also have like some paintbrush. I mean, that could be an amp. That may not be. Yeah, I bet you that's what that is. I wonder if that's an amp hooked up to the guitar behind her, because then you also have the paintbrush with the art on the wall there. But then going around here, you have the TV and the gaming system set up on the couch. And then you have what looks like a really small kitchen. But yeah, I really love the design of this one. I just think we could elaborate on it and make it a lot better than what it is. So this one's going to be a very easy build once we get the city up and going. So I think now we have a pretty good glimpse of what the main street area is going to be looking like. The main portion of it, or the foundation of it, is going to be Assembly Square, and everything is kind of branch off of that. I'm very excited because the project that I'm doing with my buddy is like a little challenge. Well, what I'm building for that is actually going to go into one of the buildings that is going to also go into our main street area or our downtown area. Looking at what this is, though, I think it's giving me a really good idea of what I want and what I don't want. What I don't want are big skyscrapers. I don't want these big colossal buildings towering over it. I want it to be a town that is progressing, that is including modern technology, that is got some really cool modern looking houses, but it's also a town that's very close knit. I'm looking forward to what we can come up with. If you guys have any ideas, by all means, I'm taking in so much information right now, it's unreal. So if you guys have any ideas on what you think might be good, or some any inspiration that drives you guys to do your builds or whatever, by all means, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll definitely check it out. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you all in the next one. Take care, and peace out.